Every year, over 30 million tourists visit Japan, and almost every single one of them sees the exact same thing. Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, repeat. Don't get me wrong, those places are incredible. But here's what nobody tells you. Japan is hiding some of the most jaw-dropping, breathtaking, and flat-out magical places on the planet, and 99% of tourists never even find them. And today that changes. I have spent a serious amount of time digging into the places that don't make it onto the average tourist's itinerary, the spots that locals love, that travel guides skip, and that most visitors fly straight past without ever knowing what they missed. These are the hidden gems of Japan, where the crowds disappear, the views get even better, and the real Japan finally shows up. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off in Nikko. And before you say it, yes, most tourists do visit Nikko, but almost none of them find this place. Tucked along the edge of a volcanic river gorge is the Kanmangafuchi Abyss, a narrow forest path lined with dozens of ancient, moss-covered Jizo statues, stretching as far as the eye can see. These stone figures have stood here for centuries, slowly being swallowed by the forest around them. What makes it even more fascinating is that the locals say the statues are impossible to count. Every time you count them going one way, you get a different number coming back. Nobody knows why. Whether that's folklore or something stranger, I'll let you decide. It's eerie, it's beautiful, and it takes about 20 minutes to walk the full path. Most tourists are 2 kilometers away photographing a shrine. You'll have this almost entirely to yourself. From Nikko, we're heading north into the mountains of Akita Prefecture, and this next place is one of the most stunning things I have ever come across in Japan. Tsurunoyu Onsen is Japan's oldest working hot spring inn, and it has been welcoming visitors since the 1600s. But what makes it truly special is the outdoor bath, a milky white, steaming pool surrounded by dense forest and complete mountain silence. In winter, snow settles on the rocks around the edge, while you soak in water that feels like it's been heating since the beginning of time. It's the kind of place that makes you forget what year it is. Getting here isn't easy. It's deep in the mountains and the road in is narrow, but that's exactly why it's still magical. Some things are worth the effort. Now this one genuinely stopped me in my tracks when I first saw it. Bitchu Matsuyama Castle in Okayama is the highest castle in all of Japan, sitting at 430 meters above sea level, on top of a rugged mountain peak. But the real reason people make the journey here is what happens on certain autumn mornings. When the temperature drops just right, a thick sea of clouds rolls through the valley below, and the castle appears to float above it like something out of a dream. They actually call it the castle in the sky. It was originally built in the 13th century, and somehow it's one of only 12 original castles left standing in the entire country. Standing up there with clouds beneath your feet and 800 years of history around you, that feeling is hard to beat. Staying in the Hiroshima region, our next stop is one of the strangest and most wonderful places in all of Japan. Okunoshima, better known as Rabbit Island, is a tiny island in the Seto Inland Sea that is completely overrun by hundreds of wild, friendly rabbits. The moment you step off the ferry, they come running. It's absolute chaos, in the best possible way. But here's the dark twist. During World War II, this island was a top-secret facility where Japan produced poison gas. The rabbits were actually used as test subjects. Today, the island has been transformed into something completely different, with the old ruins of the factory still visible among the trees. It's beautiful and haunting at the same time. Bring carrots, you'll make a lot of friends. After that, we're heading into the mountains of Gifu Prefecture to a place that honestly looks like it was lifted straight out of a fairy tale. Shirakawa-go is a tiny UNESCO World Heritage Village of 300-year-old farmhouses built with a distinctive steeply pitched thatched roof style called gasho zukuri, which translates to hands in prayer because the roofs look like 2 hands pressed together. The village sits in a valley completely surrounded by mountains. And in winter, when the snow covers everything, it becomes one of the most photographed places in all of Japan. And rightly so, it is absolutely stunning. The farmhouses are still lived in today. Real families, real life, happening inside buildings that are 3 centuries old. That contrast between ancient and everyday is something that never gets old. From the mountains, we're heading south to Miyazaki Prefecture, and this next place is pure magic. Takachiho Gorge was carved by volcanic activity over thousands of years, creating sheer basalt cliffs that drop straight down into an impossibly clear Emerald River below. And the best way to experience it? You rent a rowboat and paddle directly through the gorge yourself, passing underneath waterfalls that tumble down the cliff face right next to you. It's one of those experiences that feels completely unreal while you're doing it. The gorge also sits at the heart of Japanese mythology. According to ancient legend, this is where the gods themselves descended to earth. Whether you believe that or not, floating through those cliffs with waterfalls on either side, it's not hard to see why they thought so. Now for the one that will genuinely give you chills. Off the coast of Nagasaki sits Gunkanjima, also known as Battleship Island, an abandoned concrete island that was once the most densely populated place on Earth. In the 1950s, over 5,000 people lived here, packed into towering apartment blocks built to house workers from the undersea coal mines below. Then in 1974, the mines closed, everyone left practically overnight, and the island has been sitting empty and crumbling ever since. Today it looks like a post-apocalyptic film set, which is probably why it was used as a villain's lair in a James Bond movie. You can take a guided boat tour from Nagasaki and walk through the ruins. It's haunting, it's fascinating, and it's unlike anything else in Japan. One of those places you just have to see to believe. Most people hear Kyoto and think temples, shrines, and geishas, and they're not wrong, but about 2 hours north of the city, tucked into a quiet bay on the Sea of Japan, is a place that almost nobody from the tourist trail ever reaches. Ine no Funaya is a traditional fishing village where over 230 wooden boathouses line the edge of the water. And when I say line the edge, I mean the ground floor of each house is the water. Fishermen sail their boats directly into the bottom of their homes. The village has been operating this way for over 1,000 years. There are no crowds here, no souvenir shops, no tour buses, just calm water, wooden houses, fishing boats, and the kind of silence that reminds you why you started traveling in the first place. From the coast, we're heading into the mountains of Nagano, to a town that time genuinely forgot. Tsumago-Juku is a post town along the ancient Nakasendo Highway, the road that connected Kyoto to Tokyo in the Edo period. And it has been so carefully preserved that electricity cables, TV aerials, and modern signage are completely banned from the main street. Walking through it feels like stepping directly into 1800s Japan. The wooden inns, the stone streets, the paper lanterns, it's all still there. During the Edo period, travelers would rest here on the long journey between Japan's two greatest cities. Today you can walk the same road they walk, stay in the same style of inn, and eat the same local food. History doesn't get more immersive than that. And for our final hidden gem, we're finishing on the wild southern tip of Miyazaki Prefecture at Cape Toi. And this one is genuinely unlike anything else on this list. Cape Toi is a dramatic, windswept headland where rugged sea cliffs drop straight into the Pacific Ocean, and roaming freely across the entire cape are herds of Misaki horses, one of Japan's rarest and most ancient wild horse breeds. They've been living here for over 300 years. You can walk right among them. There are no fences, no barriers, nothing between you and these beautiful wild animals against a backdrop of crashing waves and open ocean sky. It doesn't look like Japan. It looks like the edge of the world, and somehow barely anyone knows it exists. And that is it. 10 incredible places in Japan that 99% of tourists will never find. From ghost islands to rabbit invasions, castle in the clouds to horse on the edge of the world. Japan just never runs out of ways to surprise you. Honestly, I could keep going. This country has so many hidden corners that I might just have to do a part 2. So let me know in the comments, have you been to any of these places? Or do you know a hidden gem in Japan that didn't make this list? Drop it below, I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Because we are far from done with Japan. Until next time, go find the places nobody else is looking for.